This man who attempted to maim another man is walking around free right now.
And is getting rewarded by getting a booking.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane to me.
Like, he's not been charged. He's not been arrested. As of right now, he literally is just being investigated. But as it says right here, LAPD officials say they received a call about 9 p.m. reporting an attempted murder, and then he had left the venue. So it seems like it was a attempted murder. That's what it got called in as, and the attempted murderer left the scene.
Almost a week has passed since Raja Jackson attempted to nearly murder wrestler Sicko Stu in the ring, but he still hasn't been arrested and is living freely. However, the fans are furious about that and want Raja Jackson behind bars as soon as possible.
Brother, dumb animal, put him in a cage, straight up. Not a human, not allowed in society. Control yourself, dumb bid.
On the other hand, Chael Sonnen shocked everyone by insisting Raja Jackson's attack was scripted. He explained that Raja entered the ring as part of a wrestling angle, waiting for the right moment before executing a double leg just as planned. Sonnen noted that Sicko Stu played along perfectly, with Raja positioning him in the center of the ring for the takedown. However, he pointed out that the landing went wrong as Stu hit the back of his head and appeared to lose consciousness briefly.
You saw Raja get in the ring as part of a wrestling angle that was scripted and planned. You see Raja come in with his wits about him, waits for the right moment, picks up a double leg, just as it was planned. And he's doing this with Sicko Stu, and Sicko Stu is letting it play perfectly. Raja then turns him around, so that when he brings him down, it's right in the center of the ring, which appears to be very clearly what they agreed and had planned to do. Now, the landing is not great. When Raja brings Sicko Stu down, it's not great, and Stu lands in a way and he hits the back of his head, and he looks as though he perhaps lost a level of consciousness right then.
Chael Sonnen also broke down about Raja Jackson's punches, saying that while they looked stiff and not like typical working shots, they didn't seem to come from anger at first. He explained that Raja appeared to follow a sequence, lifting, spinning, slamming in the middle, then throwing a punch just like in a cage fight. Sonnen added that whatever was supposed to happen afterward never played out because Raja seemed to get carried away with his own act and started throwing real punches out of anger.
While they were very stiff shots, not what we would call a working shot, it did not appear that Raja had lost his temper. It did not appear that these were being done out of anger, as much as, all right, I'm going to pick you up, I'm going to spin you in a 180, I'm going to bring you down in the middle of the cage, then just like a cage fight, I'm going to land a punch to either side. Whatever's supposed to happen after that. There was a couple of guys there, a referee, another wrestler, perhaps the boys step in. We'll never know. Because at this point, it appears that Raja marked out for his own gimmick and really begins laying some shots in, but those shots are done out of anger.
Earlier, Mark Henry also came to Raja Jackson's defense and placed part of the blame on Sicko Stu. He admitted he was never a fan of aggressive ribbing or constant jokes, saying that when people crossed that line with him, they always got that work. While noting he didn't know every detail, Henry felt Sicko Stu mismanaged the situation and wound up taking on more than he could handle. He cautioned that people should be mindful of who they provoke and question what kind of message a veteran sends by targeting someone much younger.
I didn't like the ribbing. I didn't like the joking. And anybody that talked to me that I didn't think was worthy of having that kind of aggressive conversation, they got that work. And, I don't know the full story, but I do know what I saw. And it looked like he wasn't smart to what was going on. And the dude that was messing with him bit off more than he can chew. And, you got to be careful, one, who you mess with, and two, what kind of example are you as a veteran for inciting a ride with a kid? And he's not 12 or nothing, but he's still significantly younger.
However, Mark Henry and Chael Sonnen received a lot of criticism after posting their reactions, as fans were angry with them for portraying Raja Jackson as the innocent one in this incident. Fans believe Raja was out of his mind, and if he hadn't stopped at that moment, he would have killed Psycho Stu. Psycho Stu's friend Doug Malloy sided with MMA fans, saying Raja Jackson could have killed Stu if he hadn't intervened. He believed Raja wanted to continue the assault and would have done the same to him if given the chance. Malloy criticized Raja as a bully, arguing that instead of getting help for his issues, he hides behind his father's name and training to inflict violence on people who aren't ready for it.
Do you think he wanted to continue beating up Stu?
I think he would have killed him.
If you didn't stop it, right?
I promise you he would have killed him. He would have killed me if he would have got the best of me. If he would have took my legs out from under me like he was trying to, he was going to do the same thing to me that he did to Stu. Clearly, you watch the stream when he's walking away. I'm tired of people fucking with me. I don't care how many times you've been in your life, bro. I don't give a fuck. If you got a fucking problem with the fucking world and the people around you, change the fucking people around you. Change it up a little bit. Go to therapy. Get some fucking help. Don't take it out on everybody else. And then you want to train by one of the best fighters to ever fucking live, your fucking father, use his fucking clout, use his fucking knowledge, and then you want to hurt people that don't fucking train like that? You're a fucking bully. You're a bitch. You.
Doug Malloy was outraged that no one stepped in to protect Psycho Stu, revealing that Stu suffered broken facial bones, lost several teeth, and even choked on his own blood after the attack. He said Stu had already been knocked out from the slam before Raja added more strikes, leaving him badly injured and incoherent. As Stu's friend, Malloy admitted he was stunned that others just stood by and apologized to Stu for being let down by people who claimed to be his friends.
Yeah, so to get started with it, what actually happened to Stu? How bad are his injuries?
Broken facial bones is from what I'm hearing. Missing teeth. Has no recollection of what happened. Incoherent. And then even from the people closest to it now that I'm disassociating with, they won't even put up the full story. Stu's pretty up, I'll put it this way. What happened yesterday is he choked on his own blood.
On his own teeth, I heard.
Yeah, teeth and blood.
And he lost all of his teeth? Right?
A lot of them, yeah. Broken facial bones. He was out on the slam, and then the guy had made contact multiple times. I remember seeing that, kind of being in shock, and then I just went. Aside of that, running in, there was other people that could have got involved that I made eye contact with, but they just stayed by the stage. Let me put it this way. I'm sorry to Stu that the people that said that they were your friends let this happen.
Doug Malloy described what happened when he tried to pull Raja Jackson off Psycho Stu, saying his first instinct was to avoid slamming Raja onto Stu's body. Instead, he got under Raja's arm and tried to drag him to the side. At that moment, Raja turned on him, shooting for a double leg takedown and attempting to dump him on his head. Malloy revealed he needed stitches from the struggle and believed Raja was trying to do to him exactly what he had just done to Stu.
I didn't really get to see exactly what happened, but I know you've got the bandages there. What happened, man? Like, did he let off a few shots on you? What happened in those exchanges between you two?
Yeah, I got stitches right here. What happened was when I first came in there, my goal was to not tackle him onto Stu. I went in, I looked, I assessed, and I said, I have to pull him away from Stu. So that's why I went to the outside and got under an armpit and tried to throw him off to the side. And when I did that, you know, if you look at the video, you could see him shoot for a double leg on me and try to take me down. He was working the whole time to try to get an advantage, get my legs, dump me on my head so he could do the same thing to me that he did to Stu.
Doug Malloy ripped into Raja Jackson, slamming him for what he described as a pathetic mindset. He recalled stepping in to calm things down when Raja suddenly went for a sloppy double leg and threw a punch to his eye. Even though Malloy hadn't shown any aggression, he branded Raja a young nobody and a cheap clown for assaulting a half-conscious man and swinging at someone only trying to break it up, adding that Jackson was fortunate he was already drained from his earlier match.
When we're in the ring and I'm breaking it up and he shoots a fucking double leg on me, by the way, work a better fucking double leg, you fucking prick. And then I'm telling you to fucking calm down. I'm not even fucking fighting. I'm not even being fucking hostile. Then you're trying to fucking work and get lower, do this, change positions, and I'm over here having to swim with you, all this other shit. And then you fucking punch me in the fucking eye. After we're breaking it up, you fucking loser. That's why you got fucking headbutt, and that's why I fucking punch you, and you're fucking lucky I was tired from the match before this. What kind of fucking person are you? You fucking low-life fucking clown. You want fucking clout, so you beat up a guy that's fucking half unconscious. You punch a guy that's trying to break up a fight and not even trying to fight you. I wasn't even trying to fucking hurt you. The fuck is wrong with you?
Similarly, the MMA guru went off on Raja Jackson, calling him an animal for slamming Psycho Stu on his head and raining down punches on an already unconscious man. He blasted everyone for standing by, saying Raja looked like he was trying to kill him, and praised the pink-haired guy for stepping in. Guru ended by saying Raja is a dumb animal who should be locked in a cage because he doesn't belong in society.
Thoughts on Raja doing a classic 13%? I mean, I'm sick of seeing it. Raining down shots and unanswered. Dead people. Like, he's unconscious on the ground. You just slammed him on his head. And now you're throwing 12 unanswered punches over and over again until you're trying to kill him. And the ref and all those in the ring that didn't stomp his fucking out when he was doing that. Bruv, Raja should have got fucking knocked out cold in that ring. No one was doing anything about it but that pink hair guy. Shout out to the pink hair guy for jumping in the ring and trying to stop him at least. Brother, dumb animal, put him in a cage. Straight up. Not a human. Not allowed in society. Control yourself, dumb bit. Bring that sparring partner back. Tornado kick him again. Dumb animal.
However, a few fans thought MMA guru shouldn't have called Raja Jackson an animal, but he feels that after such behavior, he should be able to call Raja Jackson the N-word. The MMA guru pushed back at fans criticizing his language, saying that after Raja Jackson's actions, he should be able to call him whatever he wants. He argued that Raja's attack was attempted murder over nothing, and insisted he was right to label him a dangerous animal, because that's exactly how he acted.
You'd be able to call him the word. Let's just call it what it is. You do some shit like that, I think that the ultimate sentence would be all of us joining in and saying it, bruv. I should be able to call him the word and no one should care. He's an attempted murderer, man, over nothing. Over nothing. I should be able to call him whatever I want. You know what I mean? So I called him a dangerous animal, bruv, because that's what he is.
On the other hand, Rampage Jackson spoke out about the incident between his son Raja and Sicko Stu, admitting he felt deep regret over what happened. He said he could not excuse Raja's actions, but as a father, he had to stand by his son. Rampage noted that the matter was now in the hands of the legal system and asked for privacy on the details. He also shared his concern for Sicko Stu and his family, saying he wished he had been there to stop things before they went too far.
Much I can do on that side, but be a father, you know what I'm saying? And y'all know I can't talk about that shit. I can't talk about any details and stuff like that. I can't really go into nothing. I hope y'all can respect that. You know what I'm saying? I can't say much about that shit. You know, it's really not my place to say anything, and we gotta let this shit play its course. This shit put me in like a bad mood, you know what I'm saying? I feel bad about Sicko Stu and his family. His family had to see that shit, you know what I'm saying? And you know, all this stuff that went on. I just wish I could have been there, but I couldn't. I was out of state, dropping my other kid off at college.
Rampage Jackson made it clear he was not excusing or defending Raja's actions, saying his only role was to remain a father as the situation played out. He added that he hoped Sicko Stu could one day forgive him in that role, even if not everyone fully understood the circumstances surrounding the incident.
Y'all need to know that I don't condone Raja's conduct. I don't condone none of this that happened. So we're gonna see what happened, and I'm gonna continue to be a father, and I hope Sicko Stu can forgive me myself as a dad, because for not understanding everything, you know what I'm saying, and let's see what happens from here.
Meanwhile, Michael Chandler also responded to the Raja Jackson incident by saying Raja didn't need punishment but proper guidance. He explained that Raja wasn't a bad kid, just someone who made a poor decision. Chandler added that with the right mentorship and by surrounding him with positive influences like Hap and Ace, Raja's life could be turned in the right direction. Michael Chandler said he doesn't need punishment, he needs guidance. He's not a bad kid, just made a bad choice. Once I adopt him and get him hanging out with wholesome kids like Hap and Ace, we're gonna turn his whole life around. Matt Brown reacted strongly to the incident, saying Raja Jackson wouldn't get any sympathy if he wasn't Rampage Jackson's son. He argued that the only reason people hesitate is because of Rampage's name, but the footage clearly showed Raja striking a man who was already unconscious. Brown stressed the seriousness of the act and suggested Raja could even face attempted murder charges.
You know, if this was anybody other than Rampage Jackson's son, I don't think there'd be any empathy here at all, but we all love Rampage and he's the man, you know, and the fact that he's his son, we're all sitting here like, bro, what the fuck, you know, and what do we think about this? You know, if it was just anybody else in the world, it'd be like, bro, throw that motherfucker, you know, in the cage and throw the key away, man. And that's probably what's going to happen to him. Like, you know, you say they're investigating, like, well, there's not a lot to investigate. Like, there's a video that shows it pretty goddamn clear, you know, what do we need to investigate here? So, you know, what's he going to get? You know, I don't know what like attempted murder is, but I mean, he was knocked out and punching the shit out of him. You know, I don't know how far they go in there or what the details are to get that charge.
Matt Brown condemned Raja Jackson's actions, saying it was without question aggravated assault and clearly a felony. He called it a shitty move, stressing that Raja should have handled it fairly instead of blindsiding someone. Brown explained the wrestler was bracing for a staged move when Raja slammed him on his head and added that the victim was lucky to only end up in the hospital, given how dangerous it was.
Aggravated assault's for sure, battery, you know what I mean? Like, it's a felony for sure, right? I mean, there's I don't think there's any way out of that. So, you know, kind of just is what it is for him now. But like what a shitty move, man. You know, like, you want to fight the guy, fight the guy. Like, dude was like, you know, we watched the video right before the podcast here. You know, the dude was like preparing for a wrestling style a pro wrestling style takedown, and slammed him on his head. Like, you know, dude's lucky that, you know, like you said, he's hospitalized, but man, he's lucky that that's all that happened, you know?
Kevin Lee also said Raja Jackson belonged in prison, stressing there was nothing admirable about the attack. He questioned why Raja had no self-control and let his emotions spiral, suggesting he was likely watching Seiko Stu perform and grew more frustrated. Lee made it clear that this kind of behavior had no place in a civilized society, especially when everyone understood what pro wrestling really was.
Dog gotta go lay down. You gotta go to prison, bro. There's no part of that you thought was cool. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around why you thought that was cool and why you ain't got no self-control over your emotions. I get it, you and your feelings. You probably was watching them work and just getting madder and madder. But bro, you can't have that in no civilized society. Like, we all understand what pro wrestling is, don't we?
Similarly, Brendan Schaub admitted he couldn't defend Raja Jackson's actions, even though he wanted to. He said he respects both Raja and Rampage and had even spoken with Rampage about it, but after seeing the full live stream and videos, he was left with nothing to justify Raja's behavior. Schaub called it a sad situation, noting that Raja was just starting out and now everything had been ruined.
And I'll be transparent, I like Raja, and obviously I adore Rampage. Me and Rampage have a great relationship. I love Rampage. And it's just by nature, my initial thought was when I heard about this, and I spoke with Rampage, when I heard about this, I went, all right, how can I defend Raja? I look at all the videos, I watched the full live stream and all that. I got nothing. I got nothing. Oh, I can't, you can't defend this. I see this, it's so sad. Because he was just getting started, and that all goes away.
So that's a wrap for today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts on this incident in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more engaging content.